So I'm not gonna defend myself. You block a DP and you get a bazillion damage in this game.
That is very true.
All right, so now we get to see a matchup that I get the pleasure of watching almost every single fucking day. It's red, also known as we have the names reversed on the sides here. Actually, just so everybody knows, the names are on the wrong side.
SeanEXE rocking the Laura.
Bottom left. Laura have red, wearing a red shirt, of course. Red
Good reaction to the jump there.
A bit of difficulty with this neutral stuff. Sean tends to turn it on when he's playing against Marcus because he knows he can't do anything wrong.
He knows Marcus will punish him.
Right, very hard. So we have Nash for 2 bars and Laura with 1. Uses a V reversal because he just does not want the pressure. And Nash looking for some shenanigans, looking to get some reads. He wants to climb the ladder.
Good
he wants
tech
to.
On that.
Oh my God, another great tech.
The techs.
And we have Nash with everything over here, everything he could ever ask for in life. A V trigger. You might V-trigger there. Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
Looking for a V-trigger and a super. Oh, this is going to kill.
Might end the game.
And patience beats persistence.
I was expecting Sean to go for an EX command grab at some point.
He doesn't like it.
Marcus was staying pretty grounded there.
Right. That's an adaptation of the player. Yeah, we have Laura with 2 bars, and we have Nash just sitting on. He's going to set up his fireball and going for some pressure. He does a cross under jab to beat the jump in. Very smart tech.
Whiffing grabs.
Right. And light kick into command grab. Boy, have you seen that one before, online players. Laura, super, and V-trigger. She can use that super just like Geep's SPD. It's extremely fast and extremely far-ranging. But Nash is very familiar with the on-hit light elbow gimmicks. And V-trigger is right into the spark. Gets command grab, and we're close to stun. What's going to happen?
There,
and
he did it.
Finally does the
finally
EX command grab. We've been talking about it all day. It finally came out. Laura with the bar. Rawlson trying to convince us that that move sucks, but I don't agree. And now we have just more pressure here. Nash with 2 bars. V reversals on deck.
Nash is keeping up the pressure.
And just tech after tech. Nash wants a little bit of space. Marcus really loves to get all of his resources stacked because he can make one V reversal read or V trigger read and get a ton of damage, and looks for the mix up on the crouch strong, and this is going to go right into super. This is going to hurt. He's going to put Laura in 2 halves just like he is. Just gross zombie half and regular American half. And does not get hit by the gimmicks. Abysmal throw range on Nash. Really wants to be close so he can do those gimmicks.
All he had to do is just walk forward.
This is going to reset. Oh. And EX command grab saved him in the last round. He's just not going to be able to. Oh my God, and Laura with the medium kick. That button has an absurd amount of range. It's a great neutral tool, and a lot of her shenanigans that you probably won't see on display here tonight because Sean doesn't do those. Sends from her medium kick.
Sean takes for game 1.
Yeah. And now it's a cross-up gimmick with the moonsault slash into a throw. And thrown out of another setup here. It's probably a tech attempt, but when you throw late, that's what happens. They throw a little bit tighter. And Laura,
that's a nice little setup. Now
I heard it before I saw it because our display is a little bit off. I heard the we might be working on what is effectively a perfect, even though it isn't.
Jeez.
Lots of strong pressure here.
And that's how you keep it up with Nash.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like light. Starts,
looks like crouching light, crouching medium, overhead. Looking for crouching light gimmicks here. And gets thrown. Laura, great throw. Leads into setups for her. Crush counter setups, all kinds of setups. And that's ambiguous mix-up and a light kick command grab. Again, I have just seen that so many times. Laura with the V-trigger and a bar. Nash, 2 bars, V-trigger, working on getting that V-trigger super that he loves so much. And the cross-ups on the projectile.
Stunned.
And gets stunned.
Now Marcus takes game 1, or game 2 actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Looking to press a button to beat a throw attempt at that low life. If you really think about it, damage doesn't matter the longer the match goes on. So all of your little gimmicks that don't mean much in the game in the early rounds mean a lot more when there's not a lot of health on the line. Overheads, tick throws, little shenanigans that you may know with your character. Something is plus, something recovers a lot faster than somebody might think it is, and they try to punish, and then you smack them in the face for the win. Whatever you got to do to just eke out that little victory. And sometimes it means that people get really desperate and do things like EX command grab twice at the end of the round, which I wouldn't know anybody who did that.
I wouldn't do that. But
and sometimes people come out with good stuff, and they come out with, cross up empty jump or cross up empty jump low, empty cross up low, which is great.
Inventing new tech here.
Right. Certain moves that take a little bit longer to beat delayed throw tech. And so now we're going to see a little bit more neutral here. Laura able to jump over that, but he's been jumping back at all those grab setups. And getting pressured here. Delayed throw tech to be able to get out of there. And he goes for regular Nash stun, and that's stun right there. Sorry, guys. Duty calls. And again, like I was saying before, grabs, overheads, random buttons that don't confirm in anything, much better towards the end of the round where health doesn't matter. Any adjustment that you've been holding on to where your opponent has just been doing the same thing over and over and he's not conscientious of it, you can take advantage of that in those end game situations. And man, Red just feeling himself on those double dashes right there. Is this did Red take a game?
Yes, Red already took a game.
Okay.
Red took game 2.
And this is gonna hurt. B trigger. And Sean really needs to figure out what to do on wake up against V trigger. You need to use your most active move against these kind of buttons. The best way to ensure that these moves that do not have 3 frames of startup invincibility, like Nash's V trigger, or both characters actually on display right now, Laura's EX elbow, is if you don't want that move to be reversal by whoever you're playing, back tech, because there's not a ton of characters. Oh my God! And those gimmicks. Laura has plenty of gimmicks. She has them virtually everywhere, and you could write a novel on how many gimmicks Laura has, and you could continually win scientific journal editorial awards every year because you'd make a breathtaking new discovery every few months. There's so many of them, and they just go on and on and on. Not wanting that Nash pressure with the V reversal, he gets backdash, back up, grab, looking for cross-ups, but again, just doesn't want the pressure. He's really felt good about that EX command grab, but it's really only worked out about once. And the ambiguous jump in from Nash, pretty good. He's just looking to scare Laura a little bit on the ground and then do these jump ins. Really, as some may put it, put her in the playpen and take away the screwdriver. Give her the Rugrats treatment. Put her in that box. The parents come, and when they don't want you to get out, they take away the screwdriver to open the gate. And that's exactly what Nash is all about. He wants you to go in that playpen, and he's holding your screwdriver before he gets there. Neutral jump punish, pretty good damage. Looking for a little bit of a reset there, but Nash has just been a jumping bean this round. And a little setup.
Laura's now pressure.
Getting neutral jumped, and I guess
Sean
that beats that projectile there. Nash has got a V trigger, and literally I said it and then I heard it on the other side. You must have noticed at the same time. Laura with the bar and a V reversal in case she wants to get out of this pressure for free again. Maybe worried that he might grab it on a read.
Pressure.
And just doing all kinds of on-hit gimmicks, little gimmicks.
That is game.
And that's going to be game 2.
Now, what could he have done in that situation?
I saw so many things, it would be hard to tell. If Nash wants to press buttons after his crouch medium kick on a hit, there are a lot of characters that can contest that. That's not super plus. A smart thing that a lot of players do is black up their lights with mediums. if you throw a light and somebody jumps, you usually have enough time to still anti-air. It usually catches a counter poke a lot of the time for more damage. But even on hit, you can contest a lot of that. The read next would be to, if your medium kick lands, is to shimmy out of range a little bit and then go for it again to beat any kind of counter poke. But the most common thing somebody's going to do is they're going to wait for a blocked button and then they're going to take their free jump in. And in this game, there are a lot of characters who don't have a critical area of protection for their anti-airs, and that would be right above their head. And both of these characters, Vega or Nash a little bit more than, oh my god, that cross under gimmick, and this is going to be right back into a setup here. But he goes with something a little bit more safe with Fierce.
I feel Sean might be a little bit afraid.
We got a little gimmick right there, and he blocks gimmick, and what's going to come out? Oh my god, I was going to say overhead. Oh, and gets hit with the V trigger on wake up. But that was an area, that was a range where he couldn't actually punish it because it was too far away for Laura's most active moves to hit it. And that's really how you're supposed to use those V triggers. You see a lot of people using them on wake up. When you're really close, like, I see some people use Laura's EX elbow that close. You do see a lot of Nashes use V trigger that close. If they back tech, there's no way that most characters can get to it. So if you wanna beat that out, you have to just use V trigger. But